What up, YouTube? And I'm back with another one. I just want to say this. Sometimes I sit back and I think, what if the scariest thing isn't failing? What if it's, realizing we wasted what God already put inside of us and what He has called us to do? Just think about that for a second. Really think about that. Because, God, He gave us discipline. He gave us, the ability to wake up and handle the things we know we're supposed to do and the things we're supposed to handle. He gave us the ability to do the hard things even when nobody is watching. But how often do we really, we just ignore the shit? We say, I'll start tomorrow, or I'll get it next week, or, the next week passes and the next one. And look, nothing changes. See, God, He gave us leadership. Some of us, we're meant to guide our family, guide our, friend groups, or be examples of other people, even people we don't even know. But you know what we do instead? We stay quiet, we stay comfortable, and we wait for someone else to take, you know, the lead and take the next step while we wait for opportunities to pass by. See, God, He gave us strength. And I'm not just talking physical strength, but you know, mental strength too, emotional. Being spiritually awake. He gave us ideas. He gave us, gifts that other people pray for every day, and most of us we just sit on them and we let them go to waste. And that's just something I don't think we should do, because then He gonna give it to somebody else who actually gonna apply themselves with it. And the conviction you feel, that little voice in your chest when you're supposed to be doing better, that's a gift from God too. That's God reminding you of what's inside of you and what He has for you. But instead, you're leaning into it. You ignore it. You push it off and you say, "Oh, I'll do it later. I'll do it tomorrow." So when I think about this, I think about that, one verse in Matthew 25, the one about the talents, the master, he gives his servants resources. Two of them, they multiply what were given to them. One bears it, they don't lose it, they don't destroy it, they just hide it. They keep it safe, and they keep it comfortable and untouched. And that's what really hit me the most, because most of us, we aren't out here trying to be, I would say, rebellious or do anything wrong. We're just bearing what God really gave us. We're not really applying ourselves with it. People like to, stay comfortable. They like to, you know, hide it like it's not valuable. Now, imagine this. Imagine standing before God one day and seeing what you could have actually been, what you could have actually done with your life. Being disciplined, knowing actually how to handle money, actually, figuring out you could have been successful, you know, being spiritually awake and, having leadership. He put these things inside you for a reason. And then you realize you had it in you the whole time. You just didn't use it. You didn't apply yourself. You procrastinated. That will hurt you more than failing, because failing at least means you tried. Because some people don't even try. They don't even put forth worth the effort. But bearing something, that means you didn't even give it a chance. You didn't even try. Think about it this way. See, He gave you gifts. He gave you discipline. He gave you conviction. But He didn't make you perfect. He didn't give you everything you needed to grow and to, multiply. You get to choose. And when you don't choose the right way, and when you stay comfortable and you miss out on the life you could have lived, you really realize, like, man, sometimes we just out here just asking God for more. We ask God for more opportunities, more blessings, when He really looking at us like, yo, I literally gave you everything you needed. What are you gonna do with this? The tool, the skill, whatever I give you, what are you gonna do with this? How are you gonna apply this to your life to make your life better? See, He doesn't need us to be perfect. He just needs us to be faithful within the gifts He gives us, faithful within discipline, faithful within leadership. Faithful within things that actually matter in your life. And you just gotta have faith within everything you do in your life, bro. Like either within it's small or big. Like if you go read Luke 16 verse 10, you'll really understand those last two words I just said, or last sentence or two. But if you woke up today, that means the gift God has for you is still there. The discipline is still there. It's all still there. But one day, time gonna run out, bro. Like your opportunities gonna close, seasons gonna change, and then there's no I just wish I had more time. You gonna regret that shit, bro. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to stand before God one day and feel that regret, that feeling of I could have did more. I could have been more. I had it in me all along. Like that's the worst feeling ever, bro. Like so don't bury what God gave you. Don't sit on it. Don't wait for, validation or the perfect moment. Really apply yourself and use it and be faithful and do the right thing with it. That's all God is asking. And if this hit you, that's the point. It's not to condemnate you. It's not to judge you or make you feel bad for yourself. It's to convict you. And conviction, that's a gift from God. Conviction pulls us closer to Him. Because when you finally lean into, the things He has, when you finally act on, discipline and the gifts He's trying to give you and the things He's calling you to do, that's when your life actually starts to change. That's when you start living in what God gave you instead of, what you think you deserve. And, that's when you actually find the purpose for everything that, you're looking for. So the question you got to really ask yourself, what are you going to do with what God already put inside of you? What are you going to do with God put it in your life? What are you going to do? Think about that, bro.